Hey guys, so I'm going to show you how I do some MAC depots today. I've already got a few MAC eyeshadows. I've already depotted one, and I'm going to tell you first what you're going to need. You're going to need, obviously, a MAC eyeshadow in a pot, some pointed tweezers, preferably some very sturdy ones. You're going to need some magnets that are already pre-cut, or some magnet sheets like this, which I've got several of these. This is just one that I'm working with now, and you can see I've cut some out. You're also going to need a scalpel or some sharp scissors. I prefer to use a scalpel. You will also need some kind of glue, and then a palette or a cloth. I've got my palette right here. You're also going to need a candle. I like to use these ones because they are the easiest to get to the flame. You need something that you're going to be able to get things fairly close to so that it can get heated up. And then I also recommend getting some kind of a postcard like this one, or some kind of like paper that's not going to be like really flimsy like this, but that's going to be a little bit sturdy. Alright, let's get started. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your tweezers, and there's a seam right here in the eyeshadow where the lid closes, and you're going to stick this into the seam, and you're going to try to pop this top part up. Now, that popped up pretty easy. For a second I thought it was going to pop out of there, but I caught it. So it's going to come out, and it's going to look like this. It's going to now be two pieces. So you've got your pot still, and then you've got the thing holding your eyeshadow. We're going to set our pot down for now. What I am going to do before I continue is I am going to cut out a magnet. So let's see. Now this doesn't have to be perfect. The bigger the magnet, the better. It's probably going to stick in your palette or your quad. But again, like, it doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to cover the entire back of the eyeshadow. Like, let's see. The magnet that I have cut out is this shape right here. I'm just going to set that off to the side for a second. Okay, now we are going to go right back to our eyeshadow. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to get a good grip of it with my tweezers, like this. And then I'm going to hold it right over this flame. I'm not going to get it like right on top of it, but you want to get it close enough to where it's going to melt. Now you don't want to do this too fast, because then you're going to burn it, and it could just be like a big mess. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to move the eyeshadow around just a little bit. And then when it's ready to pop out. Okay, so now this is ready to pop out. The bottom of it looks like this. It's melted. You need to be careful because the pan in here is going to be very, very hot. So I'm going to take my tweezers. I'm going to poke that out just a little bit. As you can see, the eyeshadow has basically popped right out of there. And I'm going to take it, and you can't see me do this, but I'm going to put it upside down. Pull this down just a little so you can see what I'm doing. Right here, and you can see this eyeshadow is going to come right out. And there's the eyeshadow. It's just sitting right on that postcard. Okay, so now I've got the eyeshadow out of this. There's just a little hole in it, and I'm going to set this off to the side somewhere where it can sit safely because it is hot still. Now, this is what you're working with. I've got my eyeshadow laying on this postcard, and it is eyeshadow down. And there's the pan. It's got a little bit of glue on it, but this one actually didn't have much glue on it at all. So I am going to add just a little bit more glue to it. And now I'm going to add my magnet, which does have kind of a sticky back. And we're going to place that on the eyeshadow, and I'm going to press it down just a little bit, but without burning my fingers. Because like I said, the pan is a little warm. This is not so bad anymore, but sometimes it can get really, really hot, and you have to be really careful. Okay, so it's pretty good to pick up. So now I've got my magnet on the back of it. You can see it doesn't cover the whole thing, but it covers most of it, so it's going to stick in my palette just fine. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the pot, and you can see the sticker is still on there. This is my Shore Leave eyeshadow. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that same candle, and I'm just going to hold this over the candle and move it again. This you want to get even less close to the flame, because all you want to do is make the glue right here start to melt just a little bit, and the sticker will start to bubble. Once it starts to bubble, I'll show you what you do then. Okay, so this has bubbled, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tweezers, I'm going to pull this off very carefully. You don't want to rip it. It should be melted enough to where it'll come off fairly easy. This one's being a little testy. You can see it's come off, and I am going to take just a little bit more of my glue, and I'm going to put a little bit on this magnet on my eyeshadow pen. I'm just going to put a couple little dots. Now again, there is already glue on this sticker, so you don't need too much. Now I'm going to take this sticker, and I am going to set it atop the eyeshadow and the magnet and all that. I'm going to center it, and then I'm going to press it on so that it stays. So, as you can see, I've got the sticker on it, so now you don't have a magnet blocking the sticker. You can put the magnet on the outside of the sticker, and because sometimes the stickers do make it a little bit harder for that magnet to stick to the palettes and the quad. But if you do it, you can do it right underneath the main of it. And I've actually got that done in a couple of my palettes. But I try to put them on the other side of the sticker so that you can just see the whole sticker. Now that you've got that done, all you do is you stick it into the palette that you want to stick it in. And this is going in my neutral palette. And it is right there. And then that's the one that I did right before that. There we go. And yep, it is a stick-in. So, there you go. Very, very simple. And then with the stuff that you still have left, all you do is you stick it back in the way it went. Most of the time these are going to pop back in just fine. Sometimes they don't. It really depends on how much damage you've done during the potting process. But like this one went right back in. I'm going to go and back to MAC this.